How to build credit from scratch on Capital One. So there are plenty of areas where credit card influence people's lives. But if you're trying to establish credit, things may seem a little backward. You have to actually have credit in order to build credit from scratch. Yeah, it may seem a little strange, but understanding some credit card basics can help you get started. Here's how you can build credit from scratch and use it responsibly. So there are multiple ways to establish a credit history both with and without a credit card. Here's how to look at steps you might be able to take to start building credit. Number 1, apply for a credit card designed for building credit. Number 2, become an authorized user on another's credit card. And number 3, apply for a credit builder loan. No matter which method you use to build credit, it's important to practice responsible credit habits like making payments on time each month. And monitoring changes to your credit score can help you track your progress. So the first method is to apply for a credit card and use it responsibly. When you apply for credit cards, you're asking for a type of open-end loan from a lender. As your application is considered, the lender may take into account your credit history by looking at your credit report according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. If you have no credit history, there may not be much for a lender to consider, and that, the CFPB says, could make it more difficult to secure loans, housing, and employment. But some credit cards are designed with this in mind. The following cards can be used to help establish and build credit if they're used responsibly. That means doing things like making on-time payments on each and every month. Secured credit cards are a lot like traditional cards with one main difference: they require a deposit. If you're approved for a secured card, you put money down to open the account. The money acts as a collateral, similar to a security deposit for an apartment rental. Your deposit is usually refundable. With a Capital One secured card, there are 2 ways your security deposit can be refunded. You can earn back your deposit as a statement credit by using your card responsibly, or Capital One will refund it when you close your account and pay your balance in full. Beyond the deposit, secured card functions like a traditional card, and they often look much the same too, but keep in mind that credit limits on these cards may be lower and they may not have rewards or bonuses. There are some credit cards designed with college students and recent graduates in mind. And like with other credit cards, responsible use of your credit card may help you build credit. That means doing things like making on-time payments every month. Some student credit cards offer cashback rewards and other perks too. In some cases, you may not even need to be a student to apply for one of these cards. Check with your lender for more details about eligibility and benefits. If you've begun to build credit but it's still not perfect, you may still have options. In fact, many credit card companies offer cards for exactly these cases. A good starter card, when you use it wisely, may be a good tool to help you build your credit, and it may even have features like no annual fee or cashback rewards. If you get one, just be sure to use it responsibly. Remember, the goal is to help, not hurt, your credit score. That means it's important to do things like pay bills on time and stay within your credit limit. Number 2, become an authorized user. If you're struggling to qualify for a credit card on your own, there may be other alternatives. One option is to become an authorized user. You can become an authorized user if someone gives you access to their existing credit card accounts. If you're added as an authorized user, you get your own card, but the original card owner is responsible for payments. In other words, the account owner must trust you to use the card responsibly. Any negative actions like missed payments could reflect poorly on both your credit ratings. If both you and the primary cardholder use the credit card responsibly, then it's possible that being an authorized user may be a way in which you can work to build credit. But the opposite is also true, according to the SFPB. Discussing responsibilities and spending habits with the cardholder can help you get off on the right foot. With some cards, the cardholder can also set a spending limit for any purchases you make as the authorized user. Some issuers like Capital One may also provide online access for eligible authorized users. Number 3, use a cosigner. A cosigner may vouch for you to help you get your first credit card. Just keep in mind that many major issues don't allow credit card cosigners. By signing along with you on a credit card application, a cosigner agrees to pay the bills if you can't. The only way to build credit with a cosigner is with responsible card use. And like the authorized user scenario, irresponsible use has consequences. The SFPB says both your credit and that of your cosigners could take a hit if you're late or delinquent on card payments. The SFPB also says cosigners are required to pay missed payments and even full loans if the borrower doesn't pay them back. There are some differences though. A cosigner may not get a card of their own, receive statements, or have access to make any changes to the account without your permission. Number 4, get a credit builder loan. A loan may also give you the chance to establish credit. As with credit cards, when you make loan payments responsibly, your credit score could benefit. Some loans are even aimed at those new to credit. Credit builder loans. As their name suggests, credit builder loans are designed with a different goal in mind than traditional loans. And because of that, they work a little differently. Borrowers make payments before getting the money. Credit unions typically offer CBLs according to the SFPB, but they may be available elsewhere too. The loans start with the lender depositing a small amount, around $300 to $1,000, into a locked savings account. Borrowers then make small payments over a set period, known as a term, which is usually 6 to 24 months. When the term ends and all payments are made, the money is paid out. As payments on a CBL are made, progress is reported to credit bureaus. That's how a CBL can help you build credit. But it's important to take payment dates due seriously. Late or missed payments could end up hurting your credit, the SFPB says. Other loans, mortgages, student loans, and car loans can also affect your credit. If you have debt like this, you may have already established a credit history, so it wouldn't make sense to apply for them to build credit from scratch. But keeping current with your payments can help you continue to improve your credit. However, failing behind on payments for secured loans like car loans and mortgages can do more than just affect your credit. That's because the vehicle or property is used as a collateral. And in a secured loan, if you fall behind on payments, you could risk losing the collateral. Number 5, maintain good credit habits. It takes time to establish credit from scratch. After you've established credit, it's still important to practice responsible habits. Number 1, make payments on time. Credit scoring companies FICO and Vantage Score both say payment history, specifically your track record of making on-time payments, can be a significant factor in determining your credit rating. You might consider setting up automatic payments to ensure you don't miss a payment due date. You could also use email reminders or calendar alerts to remind yourself. Number 2, create a budget. Creating a budget to compare your income to expenses is a key step to reaching your financial goals, the SFPB says. Seeing where your money goes each month could help you set aside loan or credit payments before you start spending each month. Number 3, exceed minimum payments. It can be tempting to keep making only the minimum payment you see on your credit card statement, but ultimately it's counterproductive. Those minimum payments comes with a cost, interest charges, and interest can add up, costing you more money in the long run and making it harder to pay off debt. Take it from the SFPB. Paying off your balance each month can help you get the best scores. Number 4, stay under your credit limit. Maxing out your card's credit limit could reflect negatively on you and your financial situation, according to the SFPB. Experts recommend using no more than 30% of the total credit you have available. Be careful with credit applications. Applying for a bunch of credit at once isn't likely to help you build credit any faster. In fact, it could make your financial situation look worse than it is, according to the SFPB. That's because credit scoring takes into account your recent activity, and multiple hard inquiries could hurt your score. Number 6, monitor your credit scores and reports. Once you start to build credit, it may be a good idea to keep track of where you stand. You can get free copies of your Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax credit reports by visiting annualcreditreport.com. And there is also CreditWise from Capital One. When it comes to monitoring your credit, CreditWise makes it easy, and it's free, whether you're a Capital One customer or not. Plus, using CreditWise won't hurt your score, so you can check it as often as you like. That's a major plus if you're working to build credit. Building credit in a nutshell. There's no official timeline for building credit from scratch, but there is a bottom line. Building credit can take time and it requires financial responsibility. By steadily making progress, you may set yourself up to one day reach bigger financial goals like buying your own home. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe.